Kitchen Basic Electrical Code. What we need and what we don't. Starting off with the kitchen island, there's only two measurements that we need: the depth and the length. The depth has to be greater than or equal to 12 inches. And then for the length, it needs to be 24 inches or greater. If your island meets these requirements, you need one outlet. If it is smaller, you don't need the outlet. Now moving on to the next part, the kitchen counter. If the depth is 12 inches or greater, you're going to need an outlet. And what about how often should you have an outlet? The outlet should be 2 feet apart or less. This is because the code says you need a outlet or receptacle within reach of 24 inches. So that is the maximum you can spread them apart. But if you have a situation like this where you have a gas or electric stove, then we won't need the outlet above the stove. But beside it, we will, because it's required by NEC code. Going on to an even better view where you can't even see the outlets. But just believe me, there's 2 outlets, one on the left and one on the right. Now, why am I showing this again since I already did the one with the stove? It's because I can clearly show you that these 2 outlets should be less than 2 feet apart. And the reason for this is they're supposed to be close enough where you can use so many appliances. For why we need this many outlets, I have no idea. It just says that it needs to be easily accessible within 24 inches. And it's the rules, so that's why we comply. Now moving to some dedicated circuits inside of the kitchen. We have 2 right here, the dishwasher and the garbage disposal. Each individual item is going to get their own dedicated circuit. I could talk about the amperage for the circuit, but I could be completely wrong because this is just my situation of what it is. Now, since we just turned around, there's 2 things that could be electric, but in my case, they're gas. They could have their own dedicated circuit if they were electric. Turning around in the room, we got the fridge and the microwave. They got their own dedicated circuits for each individual item because they be using a lot of power. But that's it with all the individual circuits. We got one more thing to talk about, the lights. This room's big enough so it has 2 light switches, which makes it a 3-way switch to control the lights. But on basic code, you only need 1 light switch to control the lights.